Hi, Floss Tube. Sorry. Nancy Quilting Stitcher here. Today is February 22nd, 2018. This is, I believe, my 18th video. I am not a techie person. I am not smart with computers, but I know enough that I can get by. So yesterday I made a video. Got it all done. Everything, was good. Went to upload it. Would not upload. I don't know why, but would not upload. And sorry, I'm going to move it just a little bit. So anyway, it just wouldn't upload. And so I left it going all night thinking, okay, it's just going to take a while. Got up this morning, said it uploaded, and it was publishing. Like, cool. It never published. Actually, no, when I went to bed last night, it said it was publishing. So it said it had uploaded, and now it was processing. Processing was the word. So I thought, well, I'll just let it go, all night, and then when I get up, when I get this morning, it should be there. It was still at 0% processing. Don't know what happened. So I stopped it, canceled it, and went in and tried to re-upload it. And then I had to run some errands and stuff, and so I thought, it'll be done by the time I get home. When I got home, it said this video has already been uploaded. So I go onto YouTube, and my video's there. But when I went onto YouTube and went to my account, the video wasn't there. So I ended up just deleting everything, and here I am, redoing another video. So, luckily I hadn't put everything up. Everything was still on the cart from yesterday, and nothing's going to be in order though this time. I'm just going to show you as I kind of work my way down my little cart here. So anyway, I still have a little bit of a cold. I'm coughing a little bit. My throat hurts a little bit, but I'm on the mend. Finally, I feel like I've been sick forever. I've only been sick a week, but I feel like it's just been forever. So bear with me if I need to wipe my nose or if I cough, because I'm sorry. We finally got winter here in Idaho, in southern Idaho. Sunday morning, I woke up and there was a lot of snow on the ground. And it was a really wet, heavy snow. We still have snow on the ground. It has not melted. But it was a really wet, heavy snow. In fact, one of my trees, it broke some of the branches off. It was so heavy. And then it got cold and windy and cold and frigid. I mean, we went from 60 degrees last week to 15 degrees this week. And they say there's more snow that is predicted for this weekend. So let's see. Sorry, don't mean to bump the... I don't feel like I'm in the screen right. Sorry, don't mean to bump it. I'm in a different location today because I have been rearranging and reorganizing my sewing room. And I have been kind of going through stuff, and I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff that I've just packed around for years that I haven't used in years, and so I figure I'll never use it. A lot of card making stuff. So I am going through my sewing room. So I'm in this room today, and once I get my sewing room / craft room put back together, then I'll start filming in there again. So I have some finishes for this week. My first finish is Shepherd's Bush. This was Jillian's stocking. And I'm looking at it, and there's some things you don't show up good, but in real life they do show up good. So I don't know if it's just my lighting or what. Like, she has a wing, and when I look at it, I can see it really well, but the camera doesn't look like the camera's picking it up. So what I've done It's up here at the top. It is only supposed to have this one border right there with the pink hearts. And I added this border. And then I left enough space to put the name, and then I duplicated that border. And it still is quite long because I have from, this is my cut line, this dark line right here. So I still have quite a bit. So when I make the stocking up, I might take some lace and stain it with tea and coffee, you know, like you stain your fabric to prim it up. And on the girls, I may put a piece of lace, and the boys, I may do something, I don't know what, I won't put lace, but I'll think of something to put at the top so that it will just add a little bit more to it. And then down on the bottom, where the heel and the toe are, as you can see, I added more. So from this tree over to this building is how, all the way down is how wide it was supposed to be. So you can see I added quite a bit on both sides to make it so the toe was wide enough. And then I added an extra, this border was here, it's little flowers. And I added another border. So as you can see, and there's a little sheep, right there's the sheep. Anyway, I really like it. I like how it turned out. It's not ironed yet because in my sewing room I can't get to the iron at this moment. So it will be ironed as soon as I can get to it. The other finish I have is Santa's Village. This is Poinsettia House. And I got this one finished. So the only thing, after I got it all done, I was looking at, and the only thing I wish I had done different is I wish I'd have made the leaves on these poinsettias the dark green color. But it's okay. I am using, I think it calls for fancy floss, but I'm not sure what kind. And I'm just using the DMC equivalent on it. These two little lines up there are for a bird. In the chart, you can stitch a bird there, or they have some buttons you can buy to go with each one of the charts. And I'm going to buy the buttons. I've been buying some of the buttons here and there. But anyway, that's what it looks like all together. So, yeah, I'm liking this. Not bad. So that brings me just into the plans for this one. The next one I will be starting will be North Pole Post Office, which is that one. And this one will be started on March 1st. I'll start that one. Okay, so what do we have next? Next is my whips. So I have this whip. This is about the only whip I have this week. Let's see. Is Little House Nailworks Toy Story. I always call it Toy Story. Toy Store. Let's see that. And this is where I'm at. Sorry, it's really wrinkly. That's where I'm at. I think in my last video, I had the top part done and possibly the windows. And I have filled in the dark and then the white up there at the top. And then I think I did all this and then the dark and then the lamp posts. So that's where I'm at on that one. And I'll just keep continuing with these ones. I'm going to work on this tonight when I sit down to watch TV. So hopefully, maybe I can get this one even finished or really close to finished tonight. And what else do I have? So let's see if this is the right one. Yesterday, when I did a video yesterday, I do have another whip. And this is only because I worked on this last night. So on the 12 days of Christmas, when I did my 12 days of Christmas starts, this was one of my starts, was No Bees, No Honey by Birds of a Feather. I have had this chart for a long, long, long time, and I've always wanted to do it. And so when I did my 12 days of Christmas starts, I decided this was going to be one of my starts. And though I had only worked on it on that day that I started it, and then I had put it away. But I need some spring things because it seems like I love winter and I love the snow and everything, but by middle of January, I'm done. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for nice weather. I'm ready for the snow to go away. I'm just ready for it. So anyway, this is what I did yesterday. I'm not going to take it out of the hoop, but this is what I did yesterday. I did all of this last night and all the top. The only thing I had done before is the brown line, and I think I had 2 rows below it and 2 rows above it. So I got a lot done on this last night. Quite a bit done. So, and this is going to go into, I've changed my rotation because I decided I don't like how I was doing my rotation. So I think this is going to go into my rotation, but this will only be worked on the 21st of every month. And the reason I picked the 21st of every month is because that is, well, when the seasons change. So in March, is it March 21st will be the first day of spring, or March 20th is the first day of spring, and then June 21st is the first day of summer. September 23rd is the first day of autumn. So because that's the seasonal change, I decided I'm going to put a seasonal piece. So this will be my spring piece, and I'll work on it. I'll work on it on the 21st of every month. I may pull it out and pick another date and work on it. So I work on it a couple of times a month because I do want to get it done too. But I think as fast as just this went, filling all this in yesterday, I think it's going to be fast once I start working on it. So that is another WIP I have. And then, what else do I have? Like I said, I had everything organized yesterday, and now today I don't. It's just, sorry, it's just all on my cart. So I guess I'll just go into my plans. So how I'm going to do my rotation is I have this little notebook. I think I've showed it before. It's not a notebook, it's a planner. And this is January. So you can see I worked every day on something in January. All these F's right here are things I finished in January. So I got a lot of finishes done in January. So anyway, so then this is February's. Haven't got a whole lot done in February. Haven't stitched every day because this is the day I found out my brother had passed away, and then this was the day we went to his funeral, and then I was sick there. But I write down every day. I write down what I work on. So what I'm going to do is, for my rotation, I have my monthly rotations, which is my Santa's Village, which I always start on the 1st, and then I just work on it. I'll work on it 2 or 3 days, and then I'll rotate out and put in the Hometown Holiday one, and I'll work on it 2 or 3 days, and then I'll rotate it out, and then I'll bring in the Shepherd's Bush Stockings and work on it 2 or 3 days, and then I'll rotate it out. And I've just been rotating the 3 things during the month. And I'm starting to kind of get burned out on those things, and I don't want to. So I need to bring some other stuff into my rotation, even if I only stitch on it 1 day a week. So, or 1 day a month. At least there'll be a little bit of a break in there. So what I'm going to do is, on the 4th of every month, I told you in my last video how I'm working on, I don't know if it's on my last video or the one before that, but how I'm working on Liberty's Welcome by Plum Street Samplers. I don't know if I have a picture of it quickly. A quick picture of it. Maybe I do. Oh yeah, right here. So I'm working on this, and since it's a patriotic piece, I'm working on it on the 4th of every month. But because it is also my big piece for the year, I want to work on it a little bit more than just once a month. So I'm also doing the Off the Grill Needle Arts Friday virtual stitch-ins. And when I participate in them, this is going to be the piece I work on. And so it possibly could be worked on 5 times a month. As far as February, I worked on it on the first Friday, and then I haven't worked on it since. And I worked on it on the 4th, so I worked on it the first Friday and the 4th, but I haven't worked on it since because I haven't participated in the last 2 stitch-ins because of my brother's funeral, and then because I was sick last week. So, and hopefully I'll get to pick it up tomorrow and work on it. I'm not sure. I'm going to have my grandkids tomorrow night for just a couple of hours, and so if I have time after they leave and I'm not too tired, then I might work on it tomorrow. If not, it will. I guess I'll work on it next Friday. But anyway, so this is I hope to have it done by the end of the year, but if I don't, I don't. But like I said, so I'm only working on the 4th of every month and on if I participate in the Friday Off the Grid. So then I am to also work into my rotation. I'm going to do the No Bees, No Honey on the 21st of every month. And I might pick another day to work on it. And then once that's done, I'll take it out of my, it'll be done and I'll add something else into my rotation. Then on the 25th of every month, I am working on, I'm going to work on my ornaments for my grandkids for Christmas. Because I decided if I don't get these started and going and done, I'm going to be scrambling in December to get them done. And I don't want to do that. So the first one I'm working on is Jingle. And it's by Mill Hill. These are kits, and there was 6 in the kit. I do need 8 of them. So 2 of them I'm going to have to duplicate. And there was one night I woke up and I couldn't sleep. So I started it. And this is how far I've gotten on it. Now, I've never worked on perforated paper before, and I started it using 2 strands of floss. Even though the instructions say to use 3 strands, I started it using 2 strands because I thought it's 14 count. I used 2 strands on my 14 count Ada, and it's fine. I didn't like the coverage on it. I felt like too much of the white showed through. So I started using the 3 strands, like it said, and to me, it looks and feels really bulky. But I asked a question, I'm not sure, it was on a Facebook group, but I'm not sure which one. But I asked them if they've stitched the Mill Hill kits, do you normally use 2 or 3 flosses? And if you use 3, does it feel bulky? Is it supposed to be that way? And the people that answered me said, yes, you're supposed to use 3, or that they have used 3. Yeah, I guess you can do however you want. But that they had used 3, and yes, it was kind of bulky, but once you get it all done and you add the beads, it doesn't look bulky. So that's where I'm at. So this is part of his scarf, and then this works up into his head. So on the 25th of every month, I'm going to pull these out, and these are what I'm going to work in on the 25th. If it gets towards the end of the year and I still have some done, then I will actually have to just put them in my rotation and do them until they're done. But I think if I just work, even if I just work one day on them, usually I can get 3 or 4 hours of stitching time in a day. And depending on my work schedule, I guess. But so if I can get enough stitching time in, then I can get these done. So that's the 25th. And then the last one that's going to go into my rotation is my Halloween rules, which you all know what they look like. I'm not even going to pull them out and show you, but I'm going to work on them on the last day of the month. And the reason I picked the last day of the month is because the 31st, Halloween's on the 31st. But obviously not every month has 31 days in it. So I'm just going to pick the last day of the month. I'm going to work on my Halloween rolls because I really want to get that done before Halloween. I like it. I am enjoying it. It's just that I kind of pulled out my, did the stockings in the village and the hometown holidays, but I need something so I don't get burned out on those. So that's how I'm going to start doing my rotation. I don't know. Next month I may change the whole thing back up again, but we'll see. So that kind of just took me into my excuse me, into my plans for the week too, of what I'm going to be doing. Because so this week I'll work on hometown holidays tonight. Tomorrow's Friday, so I will work on the Liberty's Welcome on Friday tomorrow, and then the next, I'm going to show you the next stocking that I'm going to start. Let's see, where is it? The next stocking, because I'm going to work on the shepherd's bush stockings too, and the next one I'm going to work on is this one, and I think it's called Brett's stocking. No, Reed's stocking. So that's going to be the stocking that I work on next. Anyway, I hope this makes sense to what I'm saying, because like I said, I had notes yesterday. I had everything like all in order of how I was going to show everything, and then today, yeah, not happening today. So, what else? I have haul, and I have a lot of haul. I completely and totally blew my Stitch from Stash. Not that I was following it on the Facebook group or anything. I hadn't officially joined. I was kind of doing my own Stitch from Stash. Wasn't going to buy anything because I got plenty of stuff to stitch. Yeah, I blew it. So, let's go into that. Sorry. Gotta move things around here. Okay, so I have wanted the wordplay charts from Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. And I had looked at some different shops online, could not find them. I could find maybe one or two, but they were always the same ones. I went on eBay, found a couple, but they always seem to be still the same ones. And I wanted the whole set, and I didn't want to start buying the set, just here and there, unless I knew I could get them all. Because if I could get them all, I wanted them all. But if I couldn't get them all, I didn't want any. So I posted on one of the Facebook groups if anybody knew where I could get them. And I actually had a needlework shop in New Jersey message me on Facebook, and they said, we have ordered these for a couple of other customers. If you would like them, we can order you some. And I'm like, yes, please. So they ordered them for me, and I got them in the mail. And I have a jar that I throw all my loose change in. When I go to the store, I don't ever dig in my purse for change. I just pay with dollar bills. If I have cash, I just pay with dollar bills, and then whatever change I have left over, I just throw it in this jar. When the jar gets full, I take it in, cash it in, and that is money that I just do whatever I want with it. If I want to buy charts with it, that's fine. If I want to buy fabric with it, then that's what I do. If I want to take my grandkids out to eat, that's what I do. Anyway, so that is my kind of my splurge money. And anyway, so I thought, I bet I have enough in there to buy pretty much the whole set of charts. So I took it in, cashed in, and I had enough in there to buy, I paid for about 2/3 of the charts. So I did have to put some of my own, regular money in. But I ended up getting them, and I got all of them. All of them. So anyway, I can't wait to get these started, but I got to get some things out of my rotation done. I got to get some of my whips that I have started done so that when I start these, I can just work on them until they're done. So I'll just quickly go through them. We got January and February and March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. So there they are. Got them all. I'm so excited. And I really like them. I think I'm going to, when I stitch them, I'm going to stitch them, and I think I'm going to finish them just like she finished them on here into the little pillows. I'll have to see if I can find some of these rusty bells. And then, yeah, that's how I'm going to finish them. So the next thing I bought is I placed an order on 123 Stitch. Excuse me. And I got these charts. These are by Madame Chantelli, and there's December 1 through 12 and 13 through 25. I don't know if you can see those. They're little pillows, and you could do pillows, you could do ornaments, but it's like an advent. There's 25 of them, so it's like a countdown to Christmas. And I thought they would be cute just to make them as ornaments and then just to put on the tree. But I was also thinking that maybe I would make a set. I would make 3 sets of them. And I would give each set, I have 3 kids, so I give one set to each family. And then that could be like their advent calendar. They can put an ornament on the tree every day for as their advent calendar. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I go to stitch them up. But I think that they are going to stitch up like really super fast. I bet you I could get one of these done in a night. That's how easy they look. Okay, then the next thing I bought is I wanted to get the rest of the charts that I didn't have for Shepherd's Bush. So this one is Roma's stocking. And Oliver's stocking. And then we got Sadie's stocking. And I did buy all the charm packs to go with these two. So we got them. And then I told you I was doing the anniversary charts by Blackbird Designs for my maternal grandmother, my paternal grandmother, and my birth mother, and my mom. And I wanted to do one in memory of each one of them. I've already done the one for my maternal grandma, and I just need to, I've been buying some frames at thrift stores because I need square frames, and so I've been buying some different frames at thrift stores so I can decide which frame I want to work with it. And I found a couple that will work, but I don't like the color they are, so I just need to decide if I want to paint them or if I want to keep looking. And I've picked out the chart, and I already have it for my birth mother, and I also have the one picked out for my mom. The only chart I didn't have that I couldn't decide on for my paternal grandmother, my dad's mom, was her chart, or the one I wanted to do for her, because none of them spoke to me. I guess none of them reminded me of that grandma. So I went back onto 123 Stitch and looked through their Blackbird design charts again, and their anniversary charts, and I found one, and it is Pumpkin Farm. So the reason why this one reminds me of my grandma Kronk, is she lived in Las Vegas. And when I was growing up, to me, Vegas is not a big deal. If, people get excited, oh, we're going to Vegas. It doesn't thrill me because I spent a lot of time in Las Vegas when I was growing up because I had two uncles that lived there. My grandma lived there. Eventually, my brother had moved there, and I had a lot of cousins there. So if we'd go anywhere for a holiday, we'd go to Vegas, or for spring break or vacation or whatever, we would go to Las Vegas. And so I spent a lot of time in Las Vegas. And not the casinos and stuff like that. I saw a different Las Vegas than, people go to visit for. But anyways, my grandma and my grandpa, before my grandpa passed away, they had bought a pickup truck with a camper on it. And they did a lot of traveling with this pickup. And they belonged to an RV club, and they would go to different like campgrounds, like RV campgrounds, and stay and anyway. But after my grandpa passed away, my grandma would still bring this truck and this camper up here every year in August, and she usually stayed through October. And she would come up here. Her sister lived up here, so my dad's aunt lived up here, and she would come up here, and my aunt grew a huge garden, and my mom grew a huge garden. So she would come up here, and for 3 months they would can. Anything you can put in a jar, they did. Anything. Green beans, carrots, peas, corn. They made salsa. They made spaghetti sauce. They made tomato sauce. They canned tomatoes. Anything. And this is somebody's here. Somebody went past. The dog doesn't like somebody going past my house. Anyway, so she would come up, and every year she would spend in the fall, and they would do canning. And so this is why this reminded me of her. Can't talk. Because of all the fall colors and the pumpkin and everything. So this is the one I'm going to do for my paternal grandmother. And I'll have to do some changing down in here because I want to be able to put her first name, and then I want to be able to put her birthday and her death date. So anyway, so I got that one. And then this I didn't show in my last video because I didn't have them because I got them today. I bought by Blackbird's Design. I think this is Blackbird Design. Yes, it is. Union Forever. I love that chart. And then I also got Plum Street Samplers Blackberry House. I love these. I love the samplers. I just love samplers. Then I got Redworks Santa by Prairie Schooler. And I've been looking at this chart for quite a long time, and I decided, why I can get the original chart and not a reprint, I needed to get it. So I got that one. This is another Prairie Schooler that I've been looking at for quite a while, Nordic Holiday. And the same thing, I decided that why I can still get the original rather than a reprint, I probably should get it. And then the last one I got is by Cricket Collection, Cross-Eyed Cricket. It's called Rest and Be Thankful. I just love that little house. So anyway, so that was my cross-stitching haul. Like I said, I blew my budget from Stitch from Stash. Okay, so the other thing I got is, so everybody has been on getting on the fad, the farmhouse Christmas thing. And then with Hands-On Design coming out with their new Chalk on the Farm series. So to me, it's not a fad because I've always just liked that style. And so when I saw the charts, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get them because that's my style. they would fit perfectly in my house, and you know, it's just always been my style. Well, anyway, so I decided, um, and then I'm gonna kind of back up a little bit. And then I wanted a project bag with the clear front, the vinyl in the front. And I thought, and I found some fabric I really liked, and I bought it, which I'll show you in a minute. And I, I messaged somebody and I says, if I have my own fabric, what will you charge me to make these? Thinking that it would be a discounted price since I have my own fabric. And they said it would be the same price. So I'm like, I I can sew. I think I can figure this out. So I was watching Farm Girl, and she I can't remember which video it was. It was only the one like maybe three or four videos ago. It was one she did in January. She had made a whole bunch of project bags, and she linked below another floss tuber that she went on her tutorial, and that's how she learned to do it. So I went to that tutorial. It's Making Life Count, and it's her #6 video, and she does a tutorial on making the project bags. So I watched her tutorial, and then she also has written instructions. And I'm like, I think I could do that. So I ordered some fabric. I ordered some fusible fleece, which also calls for. I ordered some vinyl, and I bought some zippers. So as soon as my sewing room is back together, I'm going to attempt to make a project bag. And this is the fabric I bought. Isn't that cute? So there's enough fabric because I ordered a yard of it. There is enough fabric to do 6 bags out of this. So I have plenty of fabric that if I make a mistake. So anyway, and then the coordinating fabric I got to go with it is this one. So I think that will look cute together. So this will be on the inside, this will be the outside. And then I also ordered this fabric because I just thought it was cute. So I think I'm going to do a project bag out of this one. And I didn't order any coordinating fabric to go with this one because I have fabric in my stash that I can, in my fabric stash that I probably can find some fabric for that. But a funny story. So when I ordered the vinyl, I ordered 2 yards of vinyl. And the reason I ordered 2 yards is because it was a minimum 2 yards you had to order. No big deal. I figured if these go to together as easy as, you know, she made it look on her tutorial. I'll just make some, you know, 2 yards. I'll just make up project bags till I don't, you know, till I use it all. So anyway, when I was thinking 2 yards, so when I was thinking, sorry about that. So when I was thinking 2 yards, I was thinking, you know, it would be like this, and it would come in the box, folded up like this. I don't know. In my mind, that's just how I was thinking it would come. So I get my order, get my fabric in, and it wasn't in the box. And my UPS comes kind of late. So I couldn't call them the day I got it. I had to wait till the next day to call them. And I called the company. I'm like, I got my order, but it's missing my vinyl. And they looked it up and everything, and they says, oh, it was shipped separate. And I'm like, okay. And they says it comes on a tube, like a cardboard tube. And they said, so it will come separately. And I'm like, okay. When I got this thing, this box was taller than me. I'm 5'2". This box was probably 5'6", probably that tall. And it had this tube that was about this big around in a cardboard tube, and there was 2 yards of vinyl wrapped on this thing. I have enough vinyl probably to make 20 or 25 bags. So, I don't know. I and it was my own fault because I was thinking, 2 yards it would come like this, but it's actually 2 yards, but then it's not the same length as normal fabric, so it's not like 44 yards folded in half, because a yard is 36 inches. You have your yard, it's 36 inches, but then when you the width of the fabric is 44 inches. So I was thinking, 36 inches times, or, 36 inches, times 2, because for 2 yards, and then 44 inches wide. No, it's like 72 inches wide. So 72 inches wide, and we got 36, 2 yards of it. So anyway, I got a lot of vinyl. The other thing I got was, I bought this. This is called a jelly roll. And I was watching Priscilla and Chelsea's video. I think it was their last one. And Chelsea is doing a quilt. It's like a strip quilt. And you use a jelly roll, and then you use a jelly roll, and then I'm gonna have to get a solid to go with this. But and a jelly roll is 2.5 inches. They're just pre-cut pieces. But I think I'm gonna use this and make a quilt like she's making. She's using a tutorial from Missouri Star Quilt Company. If you want to, if you're not a quilter but you want to learn how to quilt, they have some really good tutorials on there for really super simple quilts. And so you can go onto Missouri Star Quilt Company's website, or they do them on YouTube. And they are, how she explains things and stuff, they're really super, super easy to do. And then, because that could not travel alone, I ordered a fat quarter bundle of fabric. And it's got blues and reds and pinks and greens and whites in it. And I'm going to a quilting retreat in June, and the class I'm taking, I've picked out the class I'm going to take. And I don't have the material list yet, but I think one of these fat quarter bundles will be enough fabric. So I may use this. I have some other fat quarter bundles. I haven't decided if I want to use this one or if I'm going to use one of the ones I already have. Anyway, so that's my haul. And this video is about 15 minutes, well, 20 minutes shorter than my last one. I don't know why. But I think that's it. I think that's all I have for you today. Sorry if it just feels like I was completely out of order and not completely with it today. But like I said, my video yesterday was, I think, a little bit better, but just couldn't get it to upload. So anyway, I'm going to let you go now, and hopefully this one will work. If it doesn't work, I guess if you're seeing me, you know it worked. If you don't see it, I guess it will be next week, because I'm not doing another one this week. So anyway, hope everybody has a good weekend, and happy stitching. Bye.